Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having a great week. Today is Tuesday, December 16th, and we're back for another Tour Life. We got Gary, we got Yuli, we got PJ Mike behind the sticks as always. Boys, how we doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
Christmas is coming. That's what I can say.
Pretty close.
I looked at the calendar. Did not know it was next week.
It's coming, man.
Completely forgot that it's next week. Oh
and
my
the
goodness.
And the thing about Christmas is my wife's birthday's the day before.
I remember you saying that.
So
You
I got a
like
double whammy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a double shopping whammy ahead of me.
I
already got the presents. It's not a big deal.
We're now, this is going to be our, what is this going to be, like our 9th or 10th Christmas as a couple. So we're kind of past, I think we're kind of both past the gifts stage. We are more stocking stuffers. So like fun little things that we like to, snack on or whatever. And then dinner. That's the big thing. Dinner and trips are like, okay, let's go out to a really nice dinner for Christmas. Let's go do this like cool trip for Christmas kind of thing versus the stage of like, oh my gosh, I have to get like gifts. And that's the most stressful stage, especially trying to buy a gift for a significant other female. Because it's like most of the stuff they want.
She just tells me and then I just get it.
Yeah, but
I do have to get it extra that she doesn't know.
That's important. That's important.
It's tough though, because like she'll be like, I want this. I want a new running outfit. And it's like, okay. So it's like, but there's no way in the world am I going out and buying a running outfit and then her being like, oh, I don't really like this. So I don't know. I think once you have the young ones, I think it's a little bit different, right? A little more Christmas spirit going on, probably.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, we got all kinds of gifts for Raina already. She won't ever remember a single thing possible.
No shot.
But she does like toys. She's a toy gal. She likes
toys. They say like 4, I think, is when you start potentially having memories. So anything pretty much before 4, you're pretty much lighting your money on fire for no reason. You could literally give them a ball of paper and they would have no idea as they get older.
But it does shape who they become, I think.
It could.
That's interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That
you know what I mean? Like if you don't give them
skin.
anything ever, and then all of a sudden you start giving them stuff, they're just like, "What is this?"
Yep.
But if you're like consistent, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the key. Maybe you're shaping personality.
That I'm not entirely sure of, and I will not speak. I will not speak on that.
I don't think any of us are qualified.
No, Gary.
I was a kid one time. I was one at one point in time, though.
Gary, you mentioned that you were starting to go to the gym.
Yes, sir.
Any updates on the gym and how it's going? What we're looking at?
Yeah. So last week was the first full week on like the new programs. I used to go to the gym a long time ago and like lift when I was back in college and stuff. So last week was the first full week. Last night I did all chest and shoulders, so I can't raise my arms too high today.
No.
Tonight is tonight's core and legs. So we're gonna be wobbling a little bit tomorrow, but yeah.
I always loved doing the chest, and then like right after, like trying to touch my elbows and just being like, ah!
Yep. Oh yeah, I went to go lift my son up this morning to like change. It was just like.
Well, good for you. Good for you to get in there, baby.
No, that's awesome. Great. Loving the grind.
That's great news. Me and Kelsey ran the BMW Dallas half marathon. It's a huge weekend series down here in Dallas. So they do like the 5K, the mile race. I don't know if they do a 10K, but then they do the half and the full both on Sunday. And it is this year, boys. It was wind chill of 19 when we started.
Buddy.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. So we went and picked up, some like Goodwill, basically sweatpants and hoodies. And it is nice. They do end up donating all the clothes that are left over. So people are just shedding clothes as they're running, and then they kind of scoop them up and donate them to, I'm sure, some of like the homeless shelters and whatnot.
Gosh.
But man, was it cold. Like it was freezing. And the worst part, and something that we learned to fix for next time, is obviously while you start running, you're warming up and you start getting kind of warm and you're good to go. As soon as you finish, within like a few minutes, it is really cold because now you have your sweat, your pressures, heart rate, everything's dropping. So next time, you can like have a gear bag to where you can check it. The race, you can like show up and get your gear. So you can chuck like a parka or something in there. So as soon as you're done with the race, you can put something on. Because we had a 15, 20-minute walk to our car afterwards. I thought I was going to die. Like I feel my toes or my hands. It was brutal.
I got a question for that. So being a famous guy, and I know that Kelsey's famous as well. What is that like running the race? Or is it like, are you guys like celebrities running the race and people know at this point that you guys are marathon runners? Or is it just like you're just one of the crowd and you're out there just running the race?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've been posting. I've posted some stuff on social media, but nothing really on our YouTube, which is definitely obviously the biggest platform we have. So we've posted some stuff here and there. I have a Strava account, which is like the diehards. So that's a social media platform that's strictly for basically running. So everyone that follows me on there pretty much knows what I'm doing, what I'm up to. But in a situation like this, a couple things. One, you have a lot of friends and family that are out there that are looking for a specific person, right? And so they're not necessarily scanning the crowd to see. It's kind of like we're doing puzzles right now. It's very similar to the puzzle thing of where we have all these pieces laid out and I'm looking for a very specific piece. I'm like laser focused and I'm not looking at all the other pieces. I'm just looking for a very specific one. So I don't think you get a lot of people that are watching or spectating being like, oh, hey, what's up? We did get a handful, but I don't think it's as much as you think. And then the people in the actual race, they're either dying with you or they're focusing on not trying to die. So there's not really that much peripheral. But
what about for like media? Like it would make sense for them to be like, oh, you guys are running the races. Do you get that at all? Or is it like not like that? Is it like a different kind of atmosphere as far as like job to do? We're going to do this race. Or is it like they could advertise celebrities as running a race? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the funny thing is the last half marathon we did, we've only done 2 half marathons. They've both been this race. And the last one we did was in 2019. Someone at BMW actually reached out to Kelsey for a brand deal to have her come and do the half marathon. And so we like trained kind of for it and got absolutely dominated. It was a miserable experience. A lot of walking. we couldn't like move after the race. And then like for the entire week, it was absolutely terrible. And so we always had this really bad thought in our head of like half marathons are super, super tough. We went into this one just saying, hey, we're just going to do this because we're right now training for a half marathon in late April. And so we're like, hey, we're just going to go into this one as our long run training plan. We're not actually going to run it as fast as we can. We're just going to enjoy it as a long run. And Kelsey ended up absolutely dominating. Like I'm looking down my watch halfway through the race and we're going like close, like a minute slower than her 5K pace. Like we're flying. And she was feeling good. We were talking the entire time, singing. She was dancing when we were, running past music. And so we really just had a blast with this one. Nice. And I think it really shows that if you train properly and you have a good base, how much more enjoyable the running is versus a lot of people when they go into half marathons or marathons, they are not prepared to do it. Because, I mean, yesterday I went in, did a leg workout. Today I went and did my tempo run. I'm fine. I actually ran my second fastest 5K ever today. So it's like, if you are properly trained, going out and doing a half, going out and doing a full won't actually crush you. But it's when you aren't properly trained, you will get absolutely annihilated and just be like, why the heck am I doing this? So, but it was fun. It was, besides it being super cold and windy, it was a lot of fun. And we signed up for the Austin half marathon. So anyone listening, we'll be going down there to do that in February. And then we have a half marathon that we're doing here in Dallas in April. And then we'll also be going to the Gate River Run in March, which is back in my hometown, back in Jacksonville. And we're running that. So really, really enjoying the running right now. And I think it's a lot of it has to do with the fact of me and her are doing it together. And that's made it a lot of really enjoyment for us. So I kind of want to do like a running disc golf video now. Like one of those speed rounds.
Yeah.
And see like how fast I can play Dash's track. Just sprinting down the fairways. I'm trying to think. Like I could like a minute for 2 holes? Like could I play a full round in less than 9 minutes?
Probably just carry one disc with you. Maybe. I don't know.
30,
you'd need 2 discs because you'd need to run up and then putt, pick it up, run.
30 seconds per hole.
That's tough.
I don't know.
Maybe 45 seconds.
It's a good video. It's a good video.
Yeah. The question too is that like, are we allowing foot faults, right? Because if I have like a 5-foot putt,
you're allowed. Come on.
You're allowing me to putt and run. You know what I'm saying? Like I can. Yeah.
Well, you gotta pick it up too. That was the thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm just saying, like, maybe if it's on the way out, I putt and run, and then
I got a little dink. Maybe we could do a little Tour Life collab.
Battle.
See how fast we could go.
Mine's mine's really dinky though.
No, mine's dink. Mine's a dink.
Mine's like
Fuel Park is tiny.
240 average.
Yeah, mine's under that. Mine's like under 2 to 200 average.
I've got one less than that.
Equal out because I'm not a runner. You're
the other thing too is how close is the baskets to the next tee pad? I think that might be the most
pretty
important
close.
thing.
Not bad.
Okay, because if you have a lot to go,
it's a really tiny park, but it's fun. Yeah, I've done a few videos out there, but we got a couple of stragglers hanging back right now in the backstage,
in the weight room.
Let's bring them in.
Okay.
Simon, Cale, Leiviska joining the show. Gentlemen,
gents.
What do you guys think? Do you guys?
You guys want a little speed golf? A little speed disc golf
race?
Oh no,
no.
I did Maple Hill once. I never recovered.
How long did that take?
Half hour.
It's years ago. Gosh, I think it was 32, 34 minutes. Something like that.
Yeah, because that.
But I also almost died.
Out. Yeah, that one's spread out pretty good.
Yeah, Brody, I was thinking 30 seconds a hole. I got a course right by my house that's about 150-foot throws. I was trying to think. I'm like, I think I could do 30 seconds a hole, no problem. But it's only 9 holes, so I'd have to play it twice. But I think I could
double
do it.
back. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see,
Come
especially if you like hit first available, or you get a roll away and you are waiting for the putt to stop moving so you can pick it up to putt again. I think you could start kind of stressing yourself out a little bit, especially if you're down to the wire. But
an ace takes a minute off your time.
That's true. That'd be solid.
Got to.
But we appreciate you guys hopping on. Happy, merry, early Christmas, whatever you guys are celebrating. Thanks for jumping on here to talk a little bit disc golf, because the big news with you guys is the Preserve is going to be the first tournament that we see on the Disc Golf Pro Tour with a new doubles format. And so we want to get you guys to come on to, talk through that. And I guess to start us off, kind of how did that happen? Where did the conversation start? Was it your guys' idea, the Disc Golf Pro Tour? Where did it all come from?
Yeah, you want me to go, Simon?
Go ahead, Cale.
Yeah, I would love to. So yeah, thanks for having us on, guys. I see Gary's broadcasted from Yosemite. That's nice too. But no, not to go back too far, but it was 2024 after the Preserve Championship. I remember right after the event got done, I was just kind of reminiscing and thinking about, wow, it's already been 5 years that we've had this tournament, that we've had this property. And I was kind of just, dreaming up ways to kind of keep advancing and progressing the event. And, like in life or in business, if you're not, improving and getting better, it kind of feels stagnant. So I just wanted to come up with ways to keep doing that. And I remember I started thinking about doing doubles, and it was about Christmas 2024 when I went to Jeff in the Pro Tour and I kind of pitched him on the idea. And Jeff was really into it. He loved it, but at that time, the schedule had already been released, and players had already kind of been signed up for the tour card and everything. So he said, let's kind of readdress it after this 2025 season. So it was about September, late September, and I remember, Simon stepped up so big last year to be the title sponsor of the event. So I had this idea, and I've been kind of like stewing on it now for, almost a year. And the more I thought about it, the more I loved it. And I'm just thinking about all the different aspects of the teams and the shot making, and I was just feeling really good about it. So I went to Simon, I gave him a call, and I was kind of nervous. I remember to pitch it to you, and Simon immediately just gave me that affirmation and told me how much he loved the idea. And so I went back to Jeff, kind of gave him an email proposal of all the ideas that I had about it and the things that I thought we could do and the way it would benefit the tour and the players and the fans. And long story short, after a bunch of due diligence by the Pro Tour and the sign off by the Players Council and a lot of input from Simon and some other players and stuff like that, the DGPT went for it and made it happen. I know, there's a lot of just doubles is just such a, it's just woven into the fabric of the disc golf culture. So it seems like a natural fit that people can relate to. And it seems like a lot of people are really excited about it. I know Simon was super stoked and kind of gave me the courage to kind of pitch the Pro Tour on it. So that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, I find it interesting because, I advocate a lot of times for the Disc Golf Pro Tour to look at what the PGA Tour is doing over in golf and try to, take ideas from that. And the PGA Tour does have a, doubles or, two-man format for one of their tournaments. But the thing that I think separates that from disc golf is like when I play golf, no one ever is like, hey, you guys want to play doubles today? Or no one's like texting me being like, hey, you guys want to go play doubles today? Like in golf, it's just not a format you ever really do casually. And in disc golf, it is such a massive format. I mean, the local group I used to play here with all the time, that's what we did 90%. Like we rarely ever played singles. It was always random doubles and like getting different partners and playing. And I think that is going to be something that translates, like you were saying, really well to the spectators and watching not only their favorite pros play together, but also that is the format that I think most players, most AMs play. Simon, do you think the same thing with that?
Yeah, doubles has been a huge part of my disc golf growing up life. Back in Germany, we had doubles event. Literally every tournament, part of the event was a Friday night, bring your own partner doubles. And it just brings out the funnest, most party disc golf ever, really. And I mean, huge props and shout out to Cale for having the idea and the vision to even pitch this to the Pro Tour to say, like, come on, guys, let's put this on the biggest stage we have in disc golf. Because, I mean, the biggest doubles event we have is Mixed Doubles Worlds, which, yeah it's cool. It's fun. It's definitely cool that it's part of the event, but it always felt like, man, what if like literally like the top guys in the world can pair up and like put on a show? Because just look at the scores they put up playing singles. It's already absolutely insane. And then thinking about if you give those guys the green light to run shots from 100, 150, 180 feet away constantly. I mean, I think this just has potential to be one of the greatest disc golf showcases, parties, celebrations that's possible Frisbee party. That's what we wanted.
So what are some things that we can maybe look forward to seeing at this tournament? It seems like you guys kind of do want to have like a party atmosphere. So what are some things that you guys are going to try to do at this tournament that might set it apart outside of just the format?
Well, Brody, you didn't come last year. I think it's been a couple years since you've been there, but you know, like the people that kind of bought me out of the preserve have really been stepping it up out there. The venue, all the bleachers. Last year there were so many vendors. Having Simon Line be the title sponsor last year brought a lot of excitement too. We had the rubber ducky last year, the world's biggest rubber ducky. You can't forget about that.
Yep.
But honestly, I really, the preserve always, you know, spectates really well. We always get a couple thousand people on Sunday. And I think with this new format, I mean, I'm very excited to see what it's going to be like. I think we're going to blow it out of the water as far as the spectators go. And you know, the timing this year really worked out, and we're like 10 days before the World Championships this year, so that was like another huge reason why I thought this would be an appropriate format to do before Worlds, to kind of have a change of pace for the players as well. You know, obviously we want it to be highly competitive and, you know, as high stakes as it can be, but we also want it to be a little bit less stressed and just different feel than a normal singles event, right? So given the timing on the tour this year, I think it was even more appropriate.
Are we going to see maybe any? Go ahead, Yuli.
No, we could take it back to where we used to have a huge doubles event. The U.S. Doubles Championship was like one of the biggest events and the funnest ones that I remember teaming up with my best bud, Robbie Bratton, and I remember it being like the funnest event that I had played up to that point, and then watching like, you know, the being able to finish and watching like the best players like Felberg and Avery and Matty O and Barsby and all these guys at the very top competing. And I remember, like Cale's saying, the atmosphere was completely different, and not as far as like the excitement or whatever. It was like the players, it was like this more calm, fun atmosphere, which I feel like could be a lot like you see like maybe with what do you call it? Sorry, I'm losing my thoughts here. Like maybe even like a YouTube video, how people can just watch that and enjoy and really relate to the players. I think this is what's going to bring those spectators in, especially from the filming side of it, because you can envision yourself being there even more. Like when you're sitting on the couch and watching, you can be like, oh, I would have made that putt for like if Simon misses, you know, a 25 footer. But in doubles, for sure, you can straight take memories of you actually winning your local doubles league and understand like what's kind of going on in the players' heads and everything like that. And that's one of the main things that I love about this idea is it's going to resonate with the everyday disc golfer, which is really tough to do when you have the best players in the world. And
I think
no, go ahead. I'm pretty much done. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I think something that I'm looking forward to seeing is some of the personalities coming out. You know, stuff that we see a lot of times in the Jomez skins, or not the Jomez skins, the GoPro skins, of where, you know, you see people's personalities and people really end up liking certain players and going, I had no idea they were like this or they're that funny. And I think one of the reasons we don't necessarily see that on tour as much is because a lot of players just don't even have caddies, right? And so when they're making a big putt or doing something, like if the crowd isn't there or the crowd's not hyping them up, they don't really have any sort of energy to match. They have three other people that they're competing against. Here, you're going to have, I'm assuming, 2 pairs per card is how it's going to be for the most part, right?
Except for the final round alternate shot, there's going to be three teams for the final round.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like, because I guess you're only going to have 3 discs in play. I like that a lot. And so I think we might see a little bit more energy. Do you guys think the same way of you know, some of these teams getting together and showing a little more fire than the typical disc golf where you make a massive putt and you just kind of like tip your cap and that move on?
100%. That's actually one of my big dreams for this event, is that Paul and Ricky team up. I don't know if it's possible, if there's any chance of it happening, but
not this year. He already said he's going to play with AB.
That's already public. That's not supposed to be public yet. Okay, whatever.
He said it on the podcast.
Yep.
I don't know what you want me.
Week.
I don't know what you want me to do.
All right. I don't know if I believe it until I see it.
Well, since he announced who he was playing with on the pod, are you playing with the Eagles, Simon?
I'm not allowed to announce yet. So
not allowed.
All right, anyway, okay, fine. Paul and AB, they will play together. It's just going to be fun to see Paul rooting for someone else to make a putt. Like, that is just a dynamic you don't see. Like, yes, of course, on tour, we are friends, and in some cases, we are family. And, like, we've been on the road together for so long, and we all are kind of like a big, big family, so to speak. But at the end of the day, we're out there because we are so competitive and we want to crush each other just as much as any enemies would want to crush each other out on the course. So, yeah, I'm excited to see the chemistry in the groups and the chemistry between the players that are usually rivals. And yeah, there's just so many things that are going to be a first from at least my perspective on a stage like this. Keeping in mind that Pro Tour points will be on the line, keeping in mind that we're playing for Pro Tour cash.
Yeah.
Like it's yes, we want party and high energy, but it's high stakes and everyone is going to want to win. And a huge thing that I truly believe, I might be proven wrong, but of course there's going to be super teams. And I think gut instinct for a lot of people is to think that two superstars teamed up are going to be even harder to beat than one superstar by themselves. But I actually think that underdog teams will have a way better chance on making an upset or creating some interesting stuff out there than if it was singles. So I'm just really excited to see how two superstars together will handle being chased down by an underdog team or anything along those lines. It would be really fun to watch.
Well, let's throw out a hypothetical real quick.
No, let me say something real quick. I think just to tack on what Simon's saying is in doubles, there is a thing where both players typically, especially at that level, are going to loosen up. And then you're going to see, like he's saying, the underdog, which these are all great players, loosen up, and you're going to see the best come out of that individual player who's not necessarily the top, Gannon Burr, AB, or whatever, because the pressure is going to be lower. And when that happens, that's when you see spectacular scores come in when there's no pressure. There's a reason why final round, a lot of players make a big jump into the top 10 or even to push towards the, third or fourth place. There's no win on the line. So the pressure's down and then you can really be free and play. With doubles, that's the same thing that can happen when you have a perfect pair of personalities, like Cale said, and maybe even skill sets that really complement each other to where now the pressure is alleviated because, maybe you have like one of the best putters on your team, or maybe you have like this guy who's just going to put it close every single time. You get in a groove and all of a sudden, like Simon's saying, like the best players in the world are going to be the ones with the pressure on their backs because like these guys aren't supposed to be beating us, but they're not messing up.
Speaking of the format and the last round and the pressure being alt shot was the World Games format, which I think is really incredible for this. Was that something that you saw happening in China and were like, that's what we want? Like, was that something that came after the fact, or were you already trying to think of something more strategic than just standard alt shot for the final round?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I actually didn't know about the World Games alt shot. When I had pitched the Pro Tour initially, I had pitched them as 2 rounds best shot and 1 round alternate shot. We didn't know like what order it was going to be in, but Jeff really insisted that he wanted the alternate shot the final round, and I think that's the best way to do it for sure. The more I think about it, but I agree with everything everyone's saying. I think these team dynamics are going to be way more important than people think. Yeah, I think that when it comes to the alternate shot and for teams to get on a roll and anybody within 5 or 6 strokes, I think that final round, and it could come down to 10 different teams in the hunt, I think. So I think the storylines are just going to be really fun to follow as the weekend goes on.
I want to get your guys to take on the course setup because, we're talking basically about like hypothetical teams and how, Simon, you were saying, hey, don't count out like the underdogs. Now, if we would have gone over and played this event at like the Estonian Disc Golf Festival, I think it would be very, very difficult for anyone to beat Gannon and Calvin, right? A very straightforward course where they're going to have a birdie putt on pretty much every single hole. It would be very tough for me to pick anyone outside of them. But if the course is set up in a way of where it's like, hey, you need someone that has a big forehand on this hole, or hey, you need someone that can throw a really nice backhand on this hole, could a team like an Isaac Sully Tipton, right? Like someone that's really good backhand off the tee, one of the best forehands off the tee, like could a team like that really complements themselves, or someone else put in the chat like a Aaron Gossage, who's the best off the tee, with a Andrew Marweed, who's like the best putter. Could a team like that, is the preserve are you guys gonna do anything with the course setup that's gonna make it to where, yeah, AB and Paul right now, that sounds like a monster team. How could they not win? But is the course gonna be set up in a way where it's like, we gotta think outside the box a little bit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Me and Simon have been talking about it a lot. We've been texting each other ideas on course stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we definitely have in mind. For ways that we're going to do it, for ways that we're going to format the best shot versus the alternate shot. And, Brody, I know you weren't there last year, but I thought the course played really well last year. It just happened to be completely broken by Gannon. I mean, he won by so many strokes. It was unbelievable. But I remember, I think Corey got second place and he shot 30 under, which is, it's low, but it's not nothing that's not typical, So with the changes that we made last year and what we plan to add on this year, I think it'll definitely play appropriate for this event. And again, we're not, if a team gets on in doubles at the highest level, people are going to absolutely shred it, no matter how tight the OB is. But things that I like to do for this event is, kind of get the bunkers involved as the actual bunker rule. Simon, you can kind of touch on some of the stuff that we were talking about, but I think it's going to play fun. And again, if someone gets on in best shot, it's probably still going to get shredded. But
sure,
but we don't want to make it too hard where alternate shots going to create just tons of stress either. So it's we got to find the balance there for sure.
Yes. What I've liked to say in a couple of discussions we had about this event is that, I mean, we all know this, that a good round and a great round can be so unbelievably close together. Sometimes even a good round and a bad round can be like just fractions of like a bad roll or a bad skip, or just being off by an inch here or there. Like sometimes the difference between a 2 under and an 8 under literally happens just like that. And in disc golf, it's just such small differences. And the reason Gannon, Calvin, Isaac, and Paul, all those guys who are constantly on top, are on top constantly, is because of their consistency and confidence. I think those are the two big separators, because we all know how good the talent is out on the course nowadays. Like all those guys, like top 50, top 80, like they are incredible disc golfers. We all know that. And it's just getting better and better every year. And in doubles, consistency and confidence completely change. Like consistency matters less because you have a partner, and your confidence changes because you have a partner. So I'm really expecting this to be a huge chance for a lot of players who usually might not get it.
Are we going to see any sort of out of the ordinary course setups? Because this isn't a typical Disc Golf Pro Tour stop, it does, I feel like, have the ability of trying new things. Something that I've been pushing a lot. Obviously, we have seen it, some of different basket placements throughout the course tournament. So you're not seeing the same exact hole every single day. Another thing I would love to see would be different tee pad locations. So maybe in alt shot the final day, hole 1 is pushed back a couple 100 feet, and you make that hole a little bit more challenging to get the birdie and alt shot. Doing things like that, changing the Mandos to where one day the Mando is, you got to go left of this tree. The next day, the Mando is right of this tree. Are there thoughts on doing some out of the ordinary stuff, since this is a little bit more of, like you said, like a party kind of tournament vibe, more for the spectators than the super serious individual tournament?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because on New Hole 9 last year, which was kind of designed to be a roller hole, I remember Simon pitched the idea of doing a Mando where one round is to the left, one round is to the right.
Love
And
that.
at the time, it was kind of crazy, and the more I think about it, the more I kind of like it. But for this event, I definitely was thinking about 5 or 6 holes where I thought it'd be very appropriate to have a different pin position for the best shot rounds, for sure. Hole 4 is one of them right off the top of my head that I was thinking. It's a difficult hole, but in doubles, you figure one person's going to get a good drive. So if we tucked the basket back further down into the gap, just for the best shot rounds only, I like doing that, and then kind of moving it back to the regular position for alternate shot. There's a handful of holes that I think that would be nice. But again, Simon and I both kind of share the philosophy of not loving artificial out of bounds, but for this event, we're going to have to do it more than we normally would. But I still don't want to, go completely overboard.
Flood it. Yeah. It would be interesting to see kind of how it plays out. And to Simon's point, I think having these players have to look at a hole for the first time, or maybe they didn't get as much practice on it, I think that decreases the consistency that we see, because by the time it gets to the final round, these guys have played the hole 7 times and they feel really confident. And all of a sudden you throw a curveball at them the final day and it's alt shot. I would love to see some fireworks out there, maybe a little bickering between teammates about throwing them in a bad spot and having to throw out of the woods or something.
I think we're going to see that. Brody, are you going to come up?
I don't know what my schedule's like next year, but this one might be one that I have to try and make an appearance at, because I do think we might see some trash talking too. Like, do we think any sort of mind games? It's a little bit different when it's all individual. You got 4 people all on the card. That's all individual, but now 2v2 final day, 2v2v2. Like, are we going to see any sort of, like, Simon's got a 20-footer. I come up to him right before saying, hey, this would be really embarrassing if you miss this. Like, are we going to see any of that?
I think it's more likely. I think, you're going to have a partner to back you up. You might have a little more confidence for talking trash. I think we will. Maybe not to that level. I think Simon might give you the death stare if you say something like that to him for a 20-footer.
I'm all for trash talk. I think it makes me better.
If this event is, I'm going to say it's going to be successful. I think everyone's super excited to watch it. Do you see this as something that you want to see returning to the preserve in future years, or do you want to see the doubles kind of bounce around a little bit and the preserve is kind of the place that started, it can come back to? Or if this goes extremely well, is this the home of the doubles format?
That is a good question. And I, selfishly, I'd want it to always be at the preserve, because it's, preserve is my baby. But, this event is ultimately bigger than me. It's bigger than the preserve. I agree with you. I think it's going to be huge. So I think it's naturally going to evolve into an event that moves from place to place. I'm hoping the Pro Tour will maybe grant it to us for a couple of years, but yeah, absolutely. I think it'll move on and keep evolving and go to different venues. That's the vision that I think everyone has for it.
Yeah, Eagle, when we talked on our podcast about it, Eagle jokingly said that, what if it is so fun and so good and the fans love it so much and it just works? Everything about it just works, that doubles becomes actually the main way disc golf is played in the future. This is the start.
Yeah, I mean, I've always pushed for disc golf to be a team sport. I've been involved in a lot of different sports, and disc golf is very unique in the fact that, like, fans will care about what manufacturer players go to. Like, to me, that is not, no one cares about that stuff in other sports at all. And so to me, that right there is the biggest thing. Innova versus Discraft, MVP versus Dynamic Dit. Like that to me could be the biggest thing to get people interested in watching. And then you have in that whole like team aspect, you have like a singles tournament going on. And then I don't know if you guys played like tennis, but in tennis, you'd have like everyone go out and play singles. And then you'd go out and have like two people go out and play doubles. And like that was your kind of team score. And I don't know. I think it'd be very fascinating to see how teams team up, and like you can't have the person playing doubles also play singles. So then you can have like some doubles specialists. And to Simon's point, like, could that be something that makes disc golf way more entertaining to watch? Because I think that right now that's the biggest problem is there's so many people that play disc golf that don't care about watching the pros play. And it's like, how do you get them more involved? How do you make it more entertaining for them to want to watch it?
Yeah,
Could be
Brody, I remember you, Brody, championing, that the team aspect of it. And I remember I was thinking about that a lot when I was thinking about the doubles. And obviously it's not the exact same thing, but it's something, along those parameters. And that's why I think it's going to resonate with so many people, exactly like what you said. And there are going to be a lot of team dynamics with, sponsored partners and non-sponsored partners. I think that's just going to add to the stories as well.
Yeah, if it's Simon Eagle versus AB and Paul the final day, you cannot tell me that Discraft versus MVP is not going to be a storyline. That is going to be the storyline. Mm-hmm. And people are going to get behind and root for that. And I think that right there is so much more powerful than a bunch of individuals, or at least that's what I have seen so far in the disc golf space.
Well, when you look at just sports in general, when it goes, you look at the Olympics, like it's individual in a lot of those, but it's USA versus China. It's who has the medal count. Like that's what it comes down to on the biggest stage. Even in golf, like the Ryder Cup is always going to be king because, you have these crazy rivalries of actual countries. And when you create a team aspect as far as that goes, like you don't want to fail for your partner as well. Like you want to be as good as you can, because it's not just you out there anymore. It's a different kind of pressure. You know what I mean? Like if I miss a 25-footer, who cares? I do that all the time. But if my partner expects me to be that guy, there's a different kind of pressure that comes along with that. And then if you miss, to put him in that situation and then he makes it, you guys just became so much closer in that one moment. You know what I mean? And you guys became stronger. And so those are all really cool aspects about this that could, if everything is done perfectly and we get the storylines that we all, really deserve and want, like the best case scenario obviously is to have the superstars battling and then to have like the one team that's like the upset in that group. I mean, then that would be perfect across the board for the final day, I think.
I agree.
I would love it. I would love it. Yeah. It'd be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, most of these tournaments, they kind of come and go, on to the next, but this is one that, I think a lot of people have circled way more than like the match play event. Like the match play event, okay, sure. I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me, but this, I think there's so many things outside of just the actual disc golf that's going to make this very entertaining to watch and just see the dynamic of how like these players, like to Simon's point, how is Paul going to be with AB if AB is like having a mental meltdown? Right? Like how's that dynamic going to work out, or vice versa? AB's having to pick up
or
Paul.
both of them are just blow up and then like
folding
what are
their
they going to act
frisbees
like?
in half and like I just can't wait for it, and hopefully this does, Cale, to your point, hopefully this does show us something, because it's like it's crazy to me because I know in golf, if Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, if all of them could say, hey, this is what the fans want, guys, we should do like a manufacturer series, the companies would love that. They would love that. And here in disc golf, they have that. It's like it's there for them. And I don't know why there hasn't been any push to try to make it happen. Because like to me, it's like a no-brainer for these big manufacturer companies to have it more focused on like the team aspect. I mean, heck, they already try to do the whole team thing with like naming all their players on this team and this team, but like I don't know. I don't know why we just don't go all in. That's my question. At least once. Maybe like this will be a nice gateway into one event that's like the Manufacturer Cup. And it's just one event and we see it. And if we're like, that was more entertaining than any tournament we've ever seen, why don't we just keep doing that? I don't know. I think it has a really it's got me excited. I'll say that. You guys have got me excited with this, and hopefully it builds.
Good. Hopefully it's got you excited enough to come up and compete too, Brody. That's what we want.
Well, here's the thing, Cale. I don't think anyone's gonna pick me as a partner, brother. So that's gonna be a little bit tough. I mean, I will play Cali if I have to. You know, if you guys want to make an exception of me
Can we all
playing
just
Cali?
flip a big flip on hole 1, and then we just flip to see who gets who?
Oh my word.
That would be funny if you just show up the whole one. I'm just like, all right, so we just flip for random dubs. You guys down?
70-person field flipping.
Walk-ups are welcome, Brody.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you want to talk to the people about for the tournament or anything like that? Anything else going on in the off season for you guys?
Yeah, if I could, I just want to throw it out there. I've been texting Ricky every day for like 3 weeks with different reasons why him and I should be partners. And about a week and a half ago, he stopped responding. So I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh no! What the heck?
So Ricky, if you're listening, dude, I'm gonna keep coming with reasons every day, but we got this.
Who do we think Ricky's trying to be a partner with?
Not me.
Oh. Yeah,
It's
gonna be interesting to see how these guys partner up too.
Maybe Ricky's brother. I mean, I think there's going to be a few different brother teams. We're going to have. I was trying to see if Nate was going to play with his bro, Sexton. That is. Obviously the Robinsons.
You think the Robinsons will play together?
Pete out there. I'll get Pete out there, man. You better watch out.
The Mon brothers. The Mon brothers are going to be good.
Do we see any of the older folk come out to this one? What do you guys think on that? Are there have we I was gonna say have we reached out to some of these guys?
Pitch out of Kenny.
That's
Barry
a great question.
Schultz?
I actually didn't think about that yet. That's a great question. I really hope so.
I mean, I think it'd be great to Fellberg out there. I feel like it'd be great to see some of these guys out there playing doubles.
Balling.
Yeah, Dave and Avery, they won a couple of the U.S. doubles. I remember because Nico and I got second 2 years in a row. It'd be cool if Dave and Avery would come back out. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. And then also like just building up to it, you could also have some, a big like amateur doubles event leading into it. I'm sure a bunch of people would love to kind of get into that too. I mean, there's just so much you can do with this event.
Yeah.
Which again, this makes me believe, like Simon's point, is disc golf backwards. Or have we been doing it wrong this whole time?
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks, Simon. We're going to look real smart if this works like that.
There's not a lot of sports that really like you said, the format is doubles. The only thing I can think of is like pickleball.
Tennis.
Pickleball, like when you go play pickup pickleball, it's never singles ever. It's always doubles.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, Brody, you're right though about like the Zurich Classic on the PGA Tour. Like it's a big popular PGA Tour event, but like you said, there's not a lot of doubles played in regular golf. So I think in disc golf,
there's scramble tournaments which are very, very, very popular.
You're right. You're right.
They're very.
That's like for a level up from your casual player.
Yeah, but it's just golf. The way that golf is set up is to me different of where people want to see singles a lot in golf. Doubles just doesn't necessarily work. That's why I think the Ryder Cup is so special, because it just never happens. And so it's USA versus Europe. Then we get to see these different formats. But in disc golf, the team thing, I mean, you're already kind of doing it in college, right? Isn't that already kind of how college works in disc golf right now, where they pick singles and doubles? I don't actually know. Does anyone know?
There's different formats. Yeah. I mean, there's a singles format where you're going to be crowned like the collegiate champion, but then there's a team format where your team all plays and that they have different formats, and then the team has the championship team as well.
Because I think maybe let's shift real quick. I don't know how much time you guys have, but if you guys have some extra time, maybe shift a little bit to where disc golf is currently headed as far as like money and sponsorships go. We're seeing a lot of players talk about how, sustaining life basically on tour is not possible for them anymore. We're seeing a lot of people not tour as much or saying, hey, they're only going to go to a couple events. We're seeing a lot of manufacturers pull sponsorships. We're not seeing outside sponsorships coming into disc golf from other avenues. And so the question is like, could this also be an answer to that? You make it to where, 7 players are on a team, right? And maybe you even do FPO mix. I don't know how the FPO works and how that would work, but something along those lines of where if you make it and you're good enough, because right now, if you're good enough to play on the on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, guess what? You're probably not good enough to actually pay your bills, right? Like if you have a mortgage, if you have actual adult bills, you are not being able to do it. There's a very select few, but if you made it to where, I don't know, there's 7 manufacturers out there with 7 people, that's 49 people. And it's like, hey, if I'm on a team, I'm guaranteed a salary that I know I'm going to be able to make money. Do you guys like that idea of where there is like a little bit of a guarantee salary coming if you're good enough to make it on one of those teams?
I love the idea. Obviously, not something that we want to do every single week, but no, like from the first time that I heard you talk about, the sponsored teams and whatnot, I'm totally on board with that. I think the fans would really love that. It's tough, like I still play my 4 or 5 tour events a year, and if I go out there and shoot 10:45 golf, I might get 22nd place or 18th place or something.
Break even.
Yeah, it's like I break even or lose a couple $100. So, and again, that's with shooting some pretty darn good golf. So, I kind of saw this happening a couple years ago. It's like, man, you got to shoot so well to get in that top 10, and then to be able to sustain a tour, you got to get top 10s consistently, which is tough to do with so many great players. So, it's a tough spot to be, but there's always going to be. I think like with the preserve, we have so many local players. So even if there's less people on tour, we're going to be able to fill up the preserve with a bunch of solid players. But it's tough to say though. Yeah.
What about you, Simon? Like you signed the big deal, right? Like probably you're probably the last guy to sign like the massive deal for a while. For a while, we could say that. And do you have any worries like moving forward once that deal's up? Because year 1, year 2, year 3, and now it's like coming, in the next couple of years, you're going to have to re-up with that. And is there another $1 million contract coming, or is that something that you've had to like, sit down with your wife and be like, okay, we got to budget this, like this is our lifestyle, we got to put this money away because it's not coming again? Or do you feel like moving forward, those contracts are going to come again?
I definitely don't think that those contracts will come again for me. Just thinking about my age and where I want my career going in the future, it just wouldn't really make any sense, at least on that kind of level. Am I worried? No, it's just really not my personality to worry about that stuff right now. I don't know. I definitely have a wife who's very, very on the ball when it comes to finances, and wants to make sure that we are as set up as possible, even when these 10 years are over. And I'm really just dreaming of what's next, not really worrying or thinking too much about it. That's kind of how I lived my whole life. And yeah, I know I wanted to be disc golf for life. And I just kind of see which avenue I'm going to take, because I'm lucky to have options.
Yeah. We are talking to 2 top-tier course designers here, guys. So
I'm still in the infancy
Hey,
of my course design career.
If the rest look like mile marker 63, then we're in good shape, because that's a top-tier course.
You know what? To that topic, yeah, okay, thank you, first of all. But literally any disc golfer in the world could have gone to that property and done something that people would have liked-ish.
Ish.
I mean, some properties, it's just like put a tee pad in a basket anywhere and you have a good disc golf course, or at least good enough.
Yeah, if the property is good enough, I could see that. I still find it very challenging to look at a piece of land and because I think the hardest part is getting it to all fit together. I think it's not hard to make one good hole, but then how do you get 17 to all fit together? How do you get it to where you're not finishing 3 miles away and having to figure out how to get back to hole one? I think the course design, there's a lot more that goes into it than maybe people think. And what you guys do, it's impressive because it's not as easy as it looks. I'll say that. Or at least I don't think it's that easy.
No, it's walking miles of circles and meditating in the woods. That's exactly what it is. It's awesome. I love it. And yeah, again, how like where disc golf is going, one of the fascinating things in disc golf I always thought was, what is a disc golf course? Like every sport that you think of, you know what the playing field looks like. Like every sport, the playing field is set what it is. And in disc golf, a disc golf course is, I mean, almost literally anything can be a disc golf course. And I don't know if that's a weakness or a strength for us that we need to lean into more, or kind of need to find what the heck is actually a disc golf course and how is it supposed to look? How is it supposed to play? At least on a pro tour level. So what do you guys think? Should we lean into this is how different disc golf can be? Or should we lean into finding this is what disc golf should look like? Let's get this in as many places as possible.
It's a really good question because even you look at sports like tennis that you don't play on the same surface.
Yes.
All the dimensions is the same. The surface is different, right? Or you look at football, same thing. Dimensions are all the same. Surface might be different. And then golf, obviously, probably being the biggest one as far as like the change goes. There still is kind of a formula of, hey, we're going to make par between 70 and 73. There's going to be this amount, 3 to 4 par threes. There's going to be 4 roughly par fives. Like there's still a formula. You're not going to go to a golf course on tour and all of a sudden it's like there's only 1 par 3 and 1 par 5 and everything's par 4s. Like that doesn't exist. So that's a really good question because the first disc golf course I ever saw, and I can't remember where I saw it. I had to have been like some sort of weird TV channel, but it was like in the ski slopes. Like these guys were playing like in the ski slopes. And I thought it was crazy, the different elevation changes and stuff. And I mean, I don't know who the people were. They were wearing like hiking boots and stuff. It wasn't probably the highest.
Cale.
It wasn't the highest.
You probably watched Cale take down Kenny over there at Highlands.
But like I saw that and I was like, I obviously played what we would call urban disc golf, where we played with an ultimate frisbee around campus. And we would just say, okay, we're going to throw from here and try to hit the bell over there. And so we kind of had an idea of what disc golf was. And I thought it looked sick. But yeah, Simon, you make a good point. Like, is it too different to where people aren't getting some sort of nostalgia or something of being able to see the same thing? And like, I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't think I have the answer. Yuli, Gary, you have anything to say about that?
Well, there's a unique thing. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I live in an area where I have 30 plus courses within 25 miles of me. So we have that problem of, are we even going to want another course and what is it? And I feel like over the last few years, everyone's been focusing on, we want to build a championship level course. But there's a serious part of the community that gets underserved when everything is a championship level course. And so much of the future of the sport is invested in those courses where it's very, very beginner friendly, or there are opportunities for them to play. So I like the idea of, you got to obviously have some people who are trying to build bigger courses. If we want to see long-term sustainability on tour, we need courses on private property where changes can be made, adjustments can be made. You don't have to worry about the course just closing because the park doesn't want to do it anymore. But I think there's got to be a lot of effort put into the future of disc golf, which is in those communities that need access to disc golf. And it gives you an opportunity to be unique because the terrain isn't unique. It's not just a standard typical disc golf like place.
I think
Sorry.
You go, Simon. It was your question.
Well, I was going to go on another idea I had to grow the sport in a different way.
Okay. So
because
I'll just get my thoughts
go ahead
on that first part then.
Yeah.
Really, really quick. I like that it's all different. The one thing that is just so intently underserved about our sport that I've realized over the last couple of years is the way that it's filmed. Like, that's the part where there's no nostalgia, because it's better than nothing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love that the diehards, can watch live disc golf and watch the best players in the world. But if we had like the best cameras filming our sport in the correct way, which is, I think that the Pro Tour is absolutely obsessed with the catch cam, which I can't stand. Like, watching the disc fly and getting that flight, like if you could get a close up of watching that bad boy go down the fairways, now you can actually have that intimate relationship with the flight of a disc. And that's what we all love, is when it turns where you want it 250 feet down the way. That's not like throwing a football to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that somebody else can look at. Like, I was just showing somebody I was playing basketball the other night, and he recognized me and he's like, I've seen your stuff. How do you get it to turn out there? He said, he's like, that's the craziest part. And he's just watching my Instagram, right? And so that's captivating him, is not disc golf as a sport. The fact that it's flying out there and then turning at a certain point, he doesn't understand that part of it, right? And so for some reason, he gravitated towards that specific question. And I think that's the one thing that we're missing right now is, I think back to like when Matty O hit the ace at Maple Hill.
14
with just the camera, and how it was blurry at first, and then all of a sudden it was crystal clear, and you got to watch it go in, and then he goes like this, like not a big reaction. But the way that was filmed, like even on live when they got it, or I don't even know if they got it, but it's not going to have the same, like, I don't know, visual appeal to the masses as that.
Yeah.
The way that
you're talking about filmed. the iPhone Instagram video that he posted. That's the best looking shot we've seen.
100%. And so when I think about that, if every shot could be filmed in a way, even the bad shots, like, that's where the sport goes from where it is now. And everybody talks about sponsors and money and blah, 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 blah. I think it's when we get that thing correct, when we get the filming correct, then all of a sudden we have the marketability to show people like, this is awesome, and you're going to be hooked and entertained for a very long time. Then dive into the personalities, and then the money will come in. That's what I think.
Can I add real quick to that, Yuli?
Yeah.
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I think,
but I'm going to do it.
I think the producing is very poor. I think the actual production, like, of the storytelling, a lot of times is very confusing of why we're seeing certain shots. There's moments where they could build up the moment, and we're like seeing like a random drone shot for way too long. There's just things of where it's like, if someone hits first available, there should be a camera on the person's reaction and immediately go to it and keep them on there to see what the reaction to me. And this is, everyone has their different opinions on it. I just think the production of like the actual storytelling and what to show and when to show it can be improved on top of what you were saying too, Yuli, with the actual cameras.
Well, and then to wrap that up really quick, because I got sidetracked with that.
Yeah, Simon, don't forget your point.
Yeah, to bring it back to what Simon was saying with the different terrain, if we could film all that, then the different terrain is absolutely an asset. It's absolutely an asset to be able to change the scenery over and over, because we can use that to our advantage with other sports don't have. You're not watching the same thing over and over again. You're being able to change just looks from desert to high mountains to golf course to woods, like, and then all of a sudden it's a different story every single week.
Yes, Simon, I think you got to lean into it.
Yep.
Yep. I kind of think
we could be playing. We could be playing where Gary's sitting right now.
Hey, that's the Beaver State Fling right there.
No, it's not. That's Guatemala. That's Guatemala.
That's whole 4, man.
what I quickly to Yuli's point with the filming, I always had a absolutely impossible logistically pull-offable idea that disc golf should be the first ever sport filmed only with drones. So every shot is like a high-speed drone that just chases the disc, and you get this crazy, almost video game looking shots that is just looks like surreal and like shows the flight of the disc and the spin and everything, and like just have like 50 pro drone pilots out there, and that's their gig when they're not racing their drones. And I think that would be the ultimate way to film disc golf, is just full-on high-speed action drones.
That would retire like 4 pros. They would just never be able to throw. They'd be constantly waiting for the drone noise to stop. They would just never be able to throw.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to pitch that when the silent drones
Oh,
are
okay.
invented.
Yeah.
Of course. But no, my other thing was for where I think the sport could also at least give it an attempt, because I don't really see it really attempted, is to go to a place and play an average disc golf course, like mile marker 63, for example. And if you get a Maple Hill gallery out at mile marker 63, what a couple thousand people look like at Maple Hill is crazy different to what a couple thousand people would look like at a smaller course. And I think if we're looking for sponsors, if we're looking for TV moments, if we're looking for people to watch something and be like, wow, this looks like an event, this looks like something I would like to be part of, we need to take something that is not quite what it needs to be yet and put it into a smaller space where suddenly 500, 1,000 people look like wherever you look, there's people. So maybe instead of playing on a huge 12,000 mile course in Peoria, we go to Chicago and play a normal disc golf course. And we are surrounded by millions of people suddenly, and less people will look like a lot of people. And on camera, that looks really nice. And sponsors and players and fans might really love that.
It's kind of like the disc golf festival, right?
Well, that's kind of what Kenny and the gang did back in the day. The 200-foot shots, man, with a bunch of people. You see that old footage, and it looks like there's people everywhere.
The disc golf festival is a good example of something I would love to see more of. I am a huge fan of that tournament and of that course, and everyone who criticizes it, I think, has no idea what they're talking about.
Well, I did find it somewhat boring a little bit, but I think like the actual production and the way they put the tournament together, I think was great. I think you have to try to do
live is a lot better, Brody. That's my point with the filming.
But it would be
live is crazy there.
I know, but I think it would be tough to continue to watch that week after week where, you know, people are shooting 16, 15, 17, you know, under par. I
have the solution for that too.
Oh, perfect.
Make the holes a bit shorter and make the basket significantly smaller.
I think that's the answer. Is the putting just needs to be harder, because on a course like that, you know, the top players are throwing within 45 feet on every hole, and it's pretty much a birdie. So I'm 100% with you. I think the baskets, they don't need to go smaller top to bottom necessarily. We got to go smaller. Like and hey, maybe the preserve's a perfect place to try this out. Just take the outer ring, just the one outer ring of chains out. That's all you have to do. Keep the basket the same. Keep everything the same. Just take that outer ring of chains out. All of a sudden, you're going to get a lot more air balls.
Yeah.
You know, that
people are going to get scared out there.
20 footers going to get a little nasty. 20 feet, Simon, with that little little wind too.
Yeah, do it at night between round 1 and round 2, so that way they have to really react to it in round 2.
Yeah,
the only
huge into
downside is
that.
that we don't want people to constantly lay up putts, because in disc golf that's really boring.
True.
I don't think it'll happen.
That's where doubles is great. Doubles is
I
great.
think it'll just slow the putt down. That's all, you know.
And I think you also will see a massive difference in the people that are like, to me, if you see, let's say someone lay up a 35 footer and then someone comes right up 33 feet and just bangs it. I don't know. I think that's more drama to me, to like be like, holy cow, that guy was scared to make that putt and this guy just came up and banged it. Like, I don't know.
You know what I think they should add to it? Make like a little skateboard ramp all the way around it, a little circular skate. So if you miss, it just like.
I was literally just thinking the opposite. I was like, finally they can get rid of all the freaking gimmicky, fluky stuff around our fairways.
Like, so you can't lay it up. You just like laying it up on like, and it just slides.
See, now that's something that I think course design wise, it would be very interesting to watch, of where let's just pick a hole at Preserve. Let's just do hole 1, for example. Hole 1, if you're looking at it from a good tee shot, okay, so you're looking at it kind of perpendicular from a good tee shot. Like, what if the whole left side of the green, so from the basket left, that whole part was hard packed dirt? So if you threw your shot, like if you threw a backhand and it kind of hyzered out, it's going to get a flare skip off of that hard packed dirt. So the shot in there ideally would be like a forehand onto the right-hand side into the grass, or a turnover backhand into the grass on the right-hand side would be the ideal shot. So you don't get that hard pack skip. You could also go to like hole 3, which again, I'm kind of going to make sure that the holes haven't changed. I'm pretty sure that's that par 3, and it kind of fades. It's got the little hill on the left-hand side. Same thing on that hole. Make the whole left-hand side of the basket hard packed. So it's like if any hyzer shots go, like you're not getting a 30-footer. That thing is sending.
Like,
and so now you're asking the good players, like, hey, you can't just throw 40 feet anywhere and get a putt. Like, you need to be aiming for specific parts of the green. And to me, I think that's another way, without making it super gimmicky, another way for also changing the top throwers from the not top throwers.
I got a question for Simon on and Cale on that exact topic, which I have heard this from a lot of pros. Like, yeah, I'm aiming for a tailwind putt. I've done it, obviously, if it's like a crazy wind, like you're obviously not trying to throw it into the 50 mile an hour and have a headwind putt, and you want a tailwind putt. I get that. But I've never in my career been conscious of like, okay, I'm going to make sure to miss this to the right so that I have a tailwind putt. Do you guys aim for where the wind is to have a tailwind putt? Because I'm just trying to get it as close to the basket as possible. I do not care where I land. I don't care if it's a right to left. I don't care if it's a headwind. I don't care if it's a tailwind. I'm trying to get it close, and then I'm going to just make the putt. Because I hear other people say this, and I'm like, you're lying. There's no way, like, yeah, I'm just aiming for tailwinds every time. Like, that's crazy to me.
I mean, I think it's crazy to hear you say that, because
really,
of course I am.
Wow.
I mean, like, if it's very windy and I got a ripping headwind or something, I'm gonna consciously try to not leave it 40 short, right, and have a 40-foot headwind putt. It's more about the feel, like, okay, miss this a little bit long, so you don't have a huge headwind putt short.
I like headwind putts. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't really like them.
Simon,
we can't be all the best C1X putter on the planet, right?
Simon, your career, are you trying to get close, or are you aiming for wind?
No, I've consistently found in my career that the less I think about anything, the better I do. So I try to only have my muscles think,
okay,
and not my brain.
Gilly, we've heard this from other top pros. Like, we'll ask them, hey, on this shot, what were you trying to do? And it's like, I'm just trying to throw it close to the basket. Like that. And to me, I think some of the ideas that I've kind of talked about a little bit, I think you would have to force players to think a little bit more.
Yeah.
On
I agree.
where to aim, what kind of throw, because a lot it's just, I'm with you, Yuli. I think it is crazy sometimes to hear some of the top throws just be like, okay, what was going on in your mindset? Like, what were you trying to do? And they're just like, oh, I was just throwing a hyzer and trying to get it to land by the basket. It's
like certain holes you have to, like USDGC hole 17, like we're aiming at a certain spot there. Like I'm aiming to get pretty close to like wherever the short basket is. Like there's a landing zone that I'm for sure aiming to, but it's not like I'm not conscious about where the wind's going. I'm just aiming for that spot because I don't want to go in water. You know, like I don't
I think
know.
it's,
I always thought
it's,
that was hilarious that people are like, yeah,
I think it's less
I'm
specific
aiming
than
for the tailwind always. And I'm like, you're not that good. Like you're not good enough at that distance on this hole, like carving it through the wind to aim for a tailwind putt. Like you're not that good. You know what I mean? Like obviously, Cale, if we're in Vegas and we have a 50-mile-an-hour headwind, of course I'm going to try to aim a little bit deep, like I was saying, so that I have an easier putt. But when we're in the woods and let's say it's like a 350-foot shot, tight window right off the tee, and then like a late flip at like 250 feet, you're not telling me like, yeah, I'm aiming to land on the right side of the basket. Like you're aiming to get through the gap, get the turn right, and then what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times.
Like you're not like, oh, and then I'm gonna land 4 feet to the right of the bucket, so I don't have to have a tailwind, but like that's wild.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
Brody, I think
disc
like
golf though.
I like what you're saying. It's essentially, I just think the aesthetics of it. If you just have like a dirt patch, I just don't think it looks that good. But if you can find a way to do
Try
it
something
right,
different.
where like at the preserve, this year the bunkers will be bunker ruled, and a lot of the basket placements you're gonna have to think a lot more now that that's going to be in play. But I mean, maybe you bring in. I just don't like things that look super gimmicky. But if it's done right, or something's dug out and landscaped well, or you bring in a boulder, that'll block a certain part of the green, or things that actually look good, I think is.
What are you guys' thoughts on hole 7 at like USDGC? Gimmicky looking, or is that just because it's been around so long? Are we okay with that? Because if you started putting those up all over the place, does it translate, or is it just a USDGC type thing?
I personally think it works because I think it looks cool, and it's not something that happens a bunch on that course. But I'm always like, as a spectator the last few years, I'm always excited to watch that hole. Yeah.
Simon?
Agree. Yeah, I agree. I think it works. I think it's good. It's not everywhere. I think I'm not worried that just because it works there, they're suddenly going to put up triple Mandos on every course because
I think they
has
should.
one.
I think they should. I mean, they do it on 7. Where else do they do it at USDGC? Oh wait, they do it on 15. Great
15.
hole. A fantastic hole. We did it on hole 4 again. Like it's not as well defined because of the shot shape or whatever that we have to throw there, but that's for sure a quad mando, especially from the old tee pad going around the corner and the thing. Like, I don't know. I think USDGC is showing us that it's very possible. Hole 1, we start off literally the tournament with a quad mando, and everybody loves it. I don't know.
I love Mandos personally because I think that's the easiest way of dictating different flights for players and forcing players to have to throw a certain way. I want to get your guys' idea on one more course kind of design idea I have, and that would be like on hole 18 at Preserve. Great finishing hole because it's a very challenging tee shot. It can be a 2-shot swing. I mean, heck, we've seen even more with people just not being able to even, get their tee shot in bounds, and then it's a nightmare for them. But my idea, and maybe hole 18 is not the best hole for this, but it's the easiest one to kind of visualize right now, is you have a fairway that's 40, 50 feet, whatever you decide is like the appropriate distance for a fairway to be. And then from there, it's like almost a cliff of like 5 feet. So you like dig out. So the fairway's almost elevated in a way. And then the rough or the sides are dug out. So what ends up happening is if you land off the fairway, you're having to like throw up and out, which is going to be very challenging to get the distance. And also you can kind of almost put like and the way I kind of view it is be kind of like multiple bunkers kind of down the side. So like if you get over there, you basically almost have like a wall, a 5 or 6 foot wall in front of you, and you're down below. And so now like you could try to throw just right over top the wall. Some players are going to throw it straight into the wall. Some people are just going to chip out and take their medicine. I think like having stuff like that, because right now in disc golf, you throw a bad shot, the majority of the time you can still get, I mean, it's just, there's so many different ways of throwing. You can lean out. There's so many ways to get out of bad spots in disc golf. I think we got to find ways. I think the tall grass is another thing I love that preserve. It sucks to try to run through that tall grass and throw a shot. I love tall grass in front of the tee pad too, because like one of my least favorite things ever is like when someone throws it low and then they get like a huge skip and it gets a ton of yards when they freaking nosed it. Like I think tall grass should be almost at the beginning of every hole. So like if you throw a terrible shot low, it just gets eaten up. You don't get lucky with these stupid skips that the disc gives you. I hate that crap, because it's like that was a terrible shot and you just got lucky that disc skip. And so I want to try to put players in positions to where they really have to like try to find a way to get out, and like the risk reward is there. Is that a good idea? Bad idea? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well, it's a multi-million-dollar idea.
Yeah, it's
Stop it, Simon. You just rent one of those little backhoes and you just start digging.
What happens when it rains, Brody?
No, it's.
What do you
I mean, you can make it work and look really.
You gotta
janky.
get in there with the mud. Just mud.
Well,
out.
maybe put some kitty litter down or something. Just to
Play a disc golf course tycoon over here.
That's what I was gonna say. It's great in theory,
biggest
but
issue
in
is the
practice, it's gonna be some coin.
What about hay bales? How much are those?
$50.
$50 a bale.
Because
It's a
the hay bales are something also of where if you get behind a hay bale, you have to throw a different shot.
And then put a little square in the middle so you can kind of get through there. If you want.
Think of the sponsorship opportunities on the hay bale too, Brody.
Actually, on the new course I'm designing at a farm here, one fairway has strategically placed hay bales. So I think stuff like that are great ideas. I think if we had a proper budget, things like that would definitely happen. And that's also a question I would like to ask into the internet. Like, if you had unlimited money, what would a great disc golf course even look like? Because we don't even know.
Let me tell you my ideas.
With whatever budget, like what would you even do? Like what would be the perfect disc golf course? We don't know.
My first one is this.
Don't you dare say inflatables, Ely.
No. Unlimited budget. No, I won't need those. What I would need is, check this out. I would want, what do you call them? Like a roof over every tee pad. A roof over every single tee pad.
Like hole one at Crocal?
Yeah.
Yeah, to where no matter what, the rain, like the tee pad is just a sanctuary of like, no matter what, the tee pad is perfect.
That's a good idea.
Yuli, I just did a course in Wisconsin with a huge budget, and they're going to be playing the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship there in a couple of years, and that's what I did for hole one. A beautiful covered tee pad with flowers at the end. That's what I want to be, like a sanctuary. Exactly.
But every single hole, that would be dope. And then I don't have to see these stupid thumbers ever again. That would be great. No more thumbers. A thumber is a scramble shot, guys. Come on.
Who's throwing thumbers off the tee out there, Yuli?
Lots of people, man. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so that's like my one dream is if I ever design a super course, I want a beautiful canopy over every single. Then you can put flowers and the whole thing, and it's just like this. You get done with the hole, imagine, and it's raining. Imagine just being able to go over there, sit on the bench like at Crow Cole, and just be like,
You lost me at flowers.
flowers are cool, dude. Have you ever seen a golf course?
What about Augusta?
Yeah, exactly. The coolest place
Okay,
ever.
that's fine.
that's
let's not do the flowers that we did at the fort where they were like underneath the basket and
Hey,
Adam
we're
Adam
talking
Hammis
unlimited.
absolutely
Brody's just
destroyed
scared
them.
of bees. He's just scared of bees. He doesn't want more bees in the
Unlimited
No, that looked that looked weird. The flowers under the basket at the fort at Worlds, that was weird. Come on, guys.
I hear you.
That was weird. Go ahead, Yuli.
I'm done. It was
Okay.
just-
Okay.
yeah,
How do you guys solve this problem? Because I think the trees, I put down, we need more death trees. And what I mean by that are the trees on the
are
right
gonna fall
side,
on you at any point in time during the round.
the trees on the right side of the fairway at Emporia Country Club hole 1, and the other trees / bushes I'm talking about are like hole 15 at Lake Eureka. If you're in those trees on the right by the street at Lake Eureka, like the shots you have to throw out of there is not normal. And I think it makes it very, very challenging. But the problem with having trees like that at Emporia and Lake Eureka is it takes forever to find your disc sometimes. But I love how it forces, like, those are bad shots if you land over there. And now you're forced to have to throw either an amazing shot to recover or you're like pitching out. How do you guys solve the problem of like creating really difficult, challenging courses, but not increasing the time of play? Because I think that is a big problem with the Disc Golf Pro Tour is pace of play. And you guys know my thoughts on pace of play.
Yeah, and I agree with you on everything about pace of play. I think the only way to do it is just increase the spotters, because I agree. I hate when like the scramble shot has become kind of a lost art when you just line a forest with OB. You know, back in the day, we used to go in the woods and have to scrap our way out of it. And like 14 at the preserve, like this year, you know, don't want to call it the Pro Tour, but they forced us to paint the wood line along the river there, where if you go in there, you know, you have to have a shot to pitch out of there. They made us do that OB. Whereas I would prefer if, you know, that was just a natural bunker that you had to try to work your way out of. But I think that the only answer is to just increase the amount of spotters.
Yeah. Last thing I've got as far as course design ideas. You're driving on the highway and you like look over to your left and it's like a tree farm, right? Apple tree, it doesn't matter what kind of
that's
trees.
Maple Hill. Let's go play a championship.
And you look to your left and it just looks like a bunch of
That's
random
the best course in the world.
it just looks like a bunch of random trees, but then all of a sudden, like when you catch it the right angle, you get the lines of trees. What are your guys' thoughts on creating the rough with, you know, again, this is in a perfect world where we're building
Unlimited
a course
budget
of where you actually are building the rough with these trees in line. So like if someone throws a bad shot and it's turning into the wood line, that thing could just go for days in there. And then the only way out really is the way it came in, which is through another really tight tunnel. Because sometimes I don't like seeing where like guys get in the rough and then they just have like a wide open shot to the basket. I hate that crap. I want people to get punished for throwing bad shots.
Turmoil, me too.
I think if you line the trees in this way, unless they get lucky and hit like one of the first trees on the outside, their disc is going to get pushed back in there, and then there's really no way out.
Death trees.
Death trees, yes.
Death trees.
Yes. I want to see turmoil. I want to see punishment.
I do too. I know Simon hates it when someone gets lucky through a wooded gap. That's why he made us remove a couple of the trees on hole 4 last year, because he hated seeing people go inside and get lucky and get up to the bucket.
I hate that crap.
It's the worst. I know, it's the worst. And that's why we're gonna, on hole 2, we're at the left side Mando, we're gonna push up the fairway a little bit to kind of stop those lucky ones from getting through one of those left side gaps. So gotta give Simon credit for that one.
All right, I'm going to throw 2 more really bad ideas out there just because we all are right now.
Wow. I mean, I feel like some ideas were decent.
No, they're good ideas, but I mean, like realistically, what we could do with a disc golf budget. One idea I've had also for years, I think I've pitched this before, but is a Mando that just gives you a stroke if you miss it, but you still play it where it lies and continue the hole like normal. You just add a stroke to your score. You don't have to go to drop zone, or you don't have to re-tee or whatever the options are, or play around it or whatever. You just miss the Mando, but you keep playing the hole the way you want. And that actually opens up some really fun strategies where you can purposefully miss Mandos and choose to like get an easy par that way, because the birdie route is actually a bit more treacherous and brings bogey into play. For like this stuff like that, for example. And the other one is that, I mean, golf, I think we can all happily agree that golf is the most perfect game in the world.
It's pretty good.
One of the best games ever created.
It's gotta be the best.
I think it's the best. And golf is so cool because it has a perfect fairway. It has a first cut rough, second cut rough. Sometimes it has water or trees. Sometimes it has sand, and then it has these perfect greens. Like I mean, they've artificially created this unbelievable, immaculate playing field. Disc golf can't do that because we don't have $20 million for every course. So the way to artificially do that without having to have these perfect surfaces is, how do we handicap someone to throw without them literally having an obstacle in front of them? So how do I say this? So in golf, technically speaking, the more you miss, the harder your next shot is.
Yes.
In disc golf, often the more you miss, the better your shot is, because missing barely is like the worst thing you can do, especially if you're playing in the woods. So I thought we could create zones like out of bounds or hazard, but make it like a mandatory type of shot you have to throw from there that just handicaps you and not instantly strokes you. That makes your next shot harder, but not instant penalty. Just like rough wood or a bunker wood.
Ditch, big ditch, backhoe ditch.
Like mandatory
Mando.
Like there's a couple ideas, like you have to throw a 2-speed or lower from there, or you have to throw forehand, or you have to throw a roller from there. Ideas along those lines, like I'm not satisfied with anything I've come up with yet, but I think that direction could be something useful if we want to make this game pure and as fair as possible. Because my least favorite thing in disc golf, I mean, I've said it hundreds of times, is too often bad shots rewarded, good shots unlucky, get punished. Like disc golf is just out of whack.
Like you have to play backwards from that spot. Like you have to. Like there's no moving forward.
Or for example, you have to throw standstill. Like that's another little handicap, but it doesn't like completely punish you like sometimes we do that.
Yeah, hole 18 at Preserve would be a great one, of where you have a landing zone of like you hit the fairway, anything outside of that landing zone, you have to throw standstill. And now it comes to, okay, this next shot is going to be a lot harder to try to get to the basket standstill. People are going to have to throw flippier stuff. Yeah, I like the idea of forcing players to have to do something. It's just, to your point, Simon, it's just like disc golf is already such a simple game because you don't actually have to a lot of times change how you throw. You just change your disc. You throw the same exact way, you just change your disc, which I think makes disc golf very easy. And then on top of that, a lot of times you throw a terrible shot and you get rewarded for it. So it's like, there's a lot of things that just make it to where players just aren't getting punished or having to think a lot of times. And we've had top players come on here before. They don't want to think. They want to keep the game the way it is. And I think it would be way more interesting for players to or spectators to watch when players are having to do stuff they don't want to do, which is think.
Yeah. Yeah. But it all comes down to, at the end of the day, how can we
do it,
make a coherent package for fans to watch online as well, without it being so confusing with different zones and lines and lies. Like, it's already sometimes confusing to a point where even the commentators don't know what's going on, let alone the fans at home. So, I mean, yeah, it's just tough. That's why we haven't quite figured it out yet, because it's just tough.
I think we should just start with smaller baskets. I think that's a great starting point. Smaller baskets.
I agree.
And then the classic one that nobody on here likes but Brody and I, stroke and distance. Sorry, but it's a rule that needs to be implied more. It's a rule that completely makes people think. It's a rule that they got rid of a long time ago, and it supplies the best holes of all time that there's ever been, with the drama that it brings to the table. And so that rule being completely eliminated, except for one tournament a year, is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me.
I hate seeing the drop zones. Like, the
just putting drop zones. Everybody loves these putting drop zones.
You play a hole and you don't throw a single shot in bounds, and you can still somehow make a par. Makes absolutely no sense.
Stupid putting. The putt, like, you can.
That's the worst. That's how we do it at the preserve. Like the brick wall hole. You go out of bounds there. You got to go to the FEMA FPO tee and throw again. I mean,
that's a stressful shot from there too.
Everybody and people. The response that I hear from people is like 6 at USDGC. They're like, yeah, but Ricky or Paul or whoever that year took a 6 on it 3 times, and it's like, who cares? Like, how about, what was a great drop zone? An actual great drop zone was at in Emporia at the country club. 17 or 16's drop zone was actually really good, because it was kind of a putt, but it kind of isn't a putt. And you had to throw it, and you could try to make it, but if you miss it, you go in the water.
And when it's windy that.
Yeah, and when it's windy. And then if you actually want to get it on the island and you throw it 25 foot deep, you get the same kind of scores as Ricky did. You just get more of them. Like, I don't know. I just think this putting thing, like at Maple Hill, Winthrop, like, I'm just like, what are we doing? There's
why don't we go to the FPO tee pad for 8? What's Simon, any clue on what the reasoning is for that?
I want to get the fans interaction. Probably you're like so close to them, and then if you miss it, you go in the water. Like,
but you could still have that drop zone exist if you throw your putt. Oh, I don't know how you would.
If you go in the water, you shouldn't have a putt.
No, you shouldn't advance.
No, you shouldn't get a par unless you make a throw in. I hate that too, Yuli. And that's why we don't do it to preserve. If you go to, there's not a ton of super dangerous holes, but if you do go a B, you go to drop zones that you actually have to get up and down from.
Hey, and that, you know what your little hole did to me this year, Cale?
Tell me.
Yeah, I missed that. I lost my disc in the pond, and then I went to the drop zone, and I hit dead center and spit out for the 3.
No, you did not.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's way more sad. I would rather do that than go make a 38-footer with the water right there. Come on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hate that hole too, because the disc I wanted to throw on that hole, I was too afraid to lose, so I had to put like a new disc in to practice, and then I would lose that in a practice, and then I'd have to put so then I'd get to the tournament round, I'm like, I haven't thrown this disc on this hole, but I'm not throwing the disc I know is going to be good because I can't afford to lose it. Like that kind of stuff. It brings me back to I remember watching the battle between, I think it was actually Drew Gibson and Eagle way back in the day, Memorial at Vista. And Eagle, I don't know if you guys remember this at all. Eagle ends up throwing the final hole 18, the shot in the water, and it comes out to be he threw a disc that he didn't really know, because the disc he knew was the right disc he didn't want to lose in the water. And to me at the time, I thought that was crazy. I was like, that makes no sense. But then I was put in the same position. I did the same thing. I don't want to lose a disc that I absolutely love, but I think putting players into that spot, I think is fascinating.
Well, Well, it's another question of how do you put end of tournament pressure on people the whole entire time? And in traditional golf, you get that pressure on holes where there's out of bounds straight to your right, because if you hit it over there, your tournament's over. Your tournament's done. Like if you hit it over the white stakes in golf, it's an instant bogey at best, period, unless you can hit 2 irons 300 yards or whatever, right? Like it's a bogey. It's an instant bogey. You're teeing up, you hit it again, and if you do it again, that's when the big numbers come into play. And in disc golf, there's no scenario where the big pressure comes up in the middle of the round where it's like, if I make a mistake here, my tournament's completely over.
I think the problem with disc golf, though, is the courses that do have that, though, Yuli.
What course? No courses have it.
No, but there are some courses. We all know there are some courses where it's like there is that one hole where you're like, this hole could ruin my tournament. And to me, it's like, I think you do need to have, I'm not saying get rid of that hole, but I think you need to spread those holes out more throughout the course. Like, I think it's crazy to play a course where 90% of the holes are very easy to birdie, not very hard to par. And then there's one hole where you could take an 8. Like, why don't we have courses where there's 7, 8, 9, 10 holes where you could take a double, a triple? Because then to me, it's like it spreads it out and makes it a more fair tournament than, oh, wow, Simon just threw a really good shot on the one hole that he had to throw a good shot on. Does that make sense of where it's like we need to make it to where more of the holes are dangerous, not just one?
Simon, how many triple bogeys did you take last year? I bet you it's a statistic. I bet you it's under 5 for sure, without a doubt. And it might be under 3. Triple bogeys.
Paul, you might lose that bet, but I don't know how to look that up.
It should.
Sure, might.
But Yuli, you know what I'm talking about.
It's
We play courses where there is always like a hole. Majority of the time, there's like a hole or 2 holes that are far harder than all the other holes. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. I don't like that. I think.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Just having 1 or 2 holes that are just outliers that can end your tournament, rather than doing like half the course that way. So that way there's more opportunity. So it's not just would be as fluky.
Hole 12 at Northwood Black is one of the most feared holes in all of disc golf. It's the one hole where you take a bogey.
I disagree.
You don't think it's feared?
No, I'm saying I disagree because on Northwood Black, there are so many holes that are very, very tough that you can have a double and triple.
No.
Yes. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you're trying to compare it's literally the number 2 hardest hole that we play all year.
That's fine. Hole 1, you can double. People double hole 1 all the time.
I don't think you're getting my point.
You're not getting my point.
12 is feared because of a 30-minute backup before you even play it.
There's been no backups the last couple times we played it. That's not true. There's like
okay, sorry.
Yeah. Yuli, is there a hole on Northwood that you're like, I should birdie this every single time?
There's not a hole there that I'm thinking I'm going to triple. There's not one hole that I go into and I'm like, wow, this is a triple hole if I don't focus, except for
Don't make me look up your scores at Northwood
and
see how many times you
find triple bogeys, bro.
But if I find doubles, that's still to my point. You're one shot off. My
triple bogey in hole 12 is horrible.
That's also true, Simon.
And that's to my point. That's exactly to my point. Like
I've bogeyed hole 12. If you triple, you should feel terrible about that.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, my point is, if like in golf, if you look at the scores down the whole entire thing, not just the top 25 guys or whatever, if you look at like the people who miss the cut, it's typically not because they're just bogeying every hole. They take big numbers. Big numbers all the time.
You doubled 13.
Where's my triple, Brody? Go back 10 years. I don't care.
I'm just saying a double still, like, that's one shot worse than one shot better
just
than
keep looking, bud.
I'm literally just looking last year. That's all I'm doing. You had one double bogey, so you actually played pretty good.
No, I actually probably didn't. That's my point.
Hey, you remember what year it was when Ledgestone went all stroke and distance out of Eureka?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Ooh.
It was one of my favorite tournaments I've ever played ever.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed it too because people were just so terrible.
It was crazy.
I won. Did I win that year?
Yes.
I think
2015?
that was
Yes.
the year you won. Yes.
By a bunch too, Simon. By a bunch.
I love that rule, baby.
Well, I love. I mean, Northwood doesn't have it anymore, but I still love Northwood because it's one of the few courses that you actually see players like freak out.
Yeah.
Like it's not a coincidence that Northwood has the highest DNF rate. Like players mentally fall apart, and I think that's something that we should see more of in disc golf, of like players having to be pressed. And challenged.
Interesting point.
I don't think you know what my first point was. I was saying I want to see more hard. I know what I was saying is I don't like courses that just have one or two extremely tough holes compared to like the other 11 holes that are birdie or die.
Well, you said that first of all, there's a couple people in here that said that hole 12 isn't feared, which is mind-boggling to me. It's the only hole on that course was my point that is feared, that people remember.
No, stop. The other par 5, people fear the other par 5. What are you talking about? The other par 5
not
so
as
tough.
much. No, not as much. No. And it
14?
actually plays harder because of the wind. That's the only reason.
I think
when there's no wind on that hole
other par
coming
5
down the
more.
highway, it's actually not that hard of a hole.
No, that's a hard hole. I don't like how you're disrespecting Northwood Black right now and making it sound like it's like all the holes are super easy. It's not.
Oh, there we go.
There we
10 triples or
go.
worse.
There
There
we
you
go.
Oh no. Fact checked.
Wow.
Hey, I didn't play good last year. I mean, what do you want from me? But it wasn't Northwood Black, buddy.
You played good at Northwood Black. I looked at your scores. I'm impressed. You only took like a couple holes over par. It's pretty good. Better than most, man. Better than
We
most.
got Masters Worlds at Northwood Black next year. That's gonna be a fun one.
Ooh, that's sick.
Dang.
Are you doing a lot of that now, Cale?
Yeah, the Masters. They got 2 Masters majors every year that I've been playing that are really fun. They got the Slinsky, the U.S. Masters, and then the Masters World. So
Yeah.
playing with a bunch of the people that I kind of came up, playing against, which is fun.
That was a fun watch this year.
Yeah, that Masters tournament was really fun to watch. That was cool.
That was my introduction to Mr. Polk.
Oh my gosh, Danny
I was
Pope,
cheering-
what a beast!
I was cheering him
Wait,
on the
is
whole
that-
event.
Is that the guy that was throwing that one disc all over the course? He was the one that went into the playoff with. Is that
No,
who
you're
you're talking
talking
about?
Dutch.
Is it? I'm talking Dutch. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
no,
Gee, dude.
Gary,
Yeah.
I think you're talking about Zelinsky. That's where Poke was really popping
Yeah.
off. But
Yeah,
but
I'm talking
Yuli,
about Slinsky.
yeah, Yuli knows all about Danny Poke. That guy's a legend.
I don't know who you guys are talking
I
about.
I played one of my first pro tournaments with Danny Polk in Colorado.
Danny. How do you spell his last name?
Polk.
Yep.
He's one of my close friends. I think he's like 47, and he keeps getting better every single year. He's got his rating up to like 10-10 now. He's a beast.
He's got a mean jump shot too.
I was out at the abysmally awful Cosmic Open with Simon, and we were watching that at night, my buddy Kyle and I, and we're just like, who's this Polk guy, man? He's fantastic.
I'm not familiar with this guy's game. He
Cale,
wins a
what do
lot.
you think about
wins a lot of
Brody
tournaments.
dunking on you too? Now that you're on here,
Oh my gosh, I loved hearing that conversation, boys. Yo, Brody, I know you're in peak physical form now, but
Not yet. I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I am getting there.
you're looking pretty good. But I'd love to get a basketball game going 5-on-5. When you guys were talking about teams, and
Oh,
Yuli
we didn't even pick you.
No, Yuli did pick me, and
what are you talking about?
Wait, oh, you are on his team. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we need to make that.
Are you?
happen.
Are you? I mean, I've watched some people do other sports outside of.
No, I hear
disc
you,
golf, and it's-
Brody.
There's a
I
what I
hear
what I
you.
like to say is I always have to ask the question: are they good for a disc golfer? Like when you say, "Oh, this person's good at this," I'm like, is that disc golf good or is that like average good? Because those two things are vastly different. And it took me a little bit of a while to figure that out when people were like, "Oh yeah, you should go do this with this person. He's good at it. And then I'm like, no, he's not. He's not good at it at all. But a basketball game would be electric. I think there would be a lot of injuries.
Oh yeah, 100%. We'd have to get braced up.
Or we'd have to just take it to the trampolines and play trampoline basketball.
That would be even
slam
worse.
ball. No.
Yeah, you get double bounce, just never come down.
Freaking slam ball.
This game brought to you by Icy Hot.
Speaking of other sports, Simon, do you think you are the best niche sport player, I guess, in disc golf? Like if there was a decathlon in niche sports, are you taking that down? I'm obviously talking pool, darts, those type of sports.
Gymnastics.
Yes, he is.
Wait, you're good at gymnastics?
Yeah, I've seen him do some crazy stuff on a trampoline. Yeah.
I can do a couple flips. That's about it.
Simon doing the Iron Cross, just holding himself out like this.
No, anything with strength, I'm out.
Simon, I don't know how much it would cost, but I would pay a lot of money to see you on a pommel horse. I'd pay a lot of money to see you on a pommel horse. Just like up here, just like do it.
He'd figure it out. He'd figure it out.
I'd say give me like 2 months. I figure it out.
The core strength that you would need on that is crazy. Those people are insane, dude.
Yeah, he's got dad strength. He's dad strength. He knows.
Insane.
No,
all right,
hand-eye
boys.
coordination is actually kind of crazy. And Cale low key in all things is pretty good.
Yeah,
Ping
Cale
pong,
I know is
moving
athletic.
parts,
Cale I know is
doesn't matter.
athletic. I'll still probably jam on him, but he's athletic.
We gotta make it happen, bro.
You gotta live above the rim, boys. You gotta live above the rim. I started jumping last week. It wasn't pretty off my left leg, which I'm a little scared because that's my jumping leg. But
Are you dunking though?
I can. It's a little scary. The coming down part is a little scary. Like if you put like a nice little high, what are those things called? Now I'm blanking on it. Box. If you put like a nice little box that I can like just hang on the rim and just
you can land on.
Yeah. I'm working on trying to get like the depth drops of where I'm like catching myself. But yeah, I mean I'm 6'5", guys. It's not that impressive to be able to dunk at 6'5". You're not
Simon,
that far.
you ever dunked?
You're not that far away from the rim.
How old are you, Brody?
38.
Yeah, I mean that's if you're dunking at 38, that's always impressive.
I can't really do much else, so at least I have that, I guess. All right. Well, we kept you guys on long enough. We'll give you guys some time to do some promos. There
it is.
Okay. Okay.
Representing the UK, perfect.
I don't think Germany has the greatest gymnastics team. I could be wrong.
We used to have the world champion. What was his name? Don't remember his name. Damn it! But like 10 years ago,
Nasty.
Oh my god, he was unbeatable.
Just 5'4", 130 pounds, pure muscle.
Unbelievable.
Okay. We'll give you guys this time now to promo anything, shout out sponsors, whatever you guys want to do. The floor is yours. We appreciate you guys hopping on here.
Yeah, I just want to say this has turned out to be quite the roundtable discussion. We touched on a lot of stuff, so hopefully it was entertaining for people. I know I learned a little bit, so that's always good. But no, I just want to say thanks for having me, Gary. It's good to meet you for the first time, and
Absolutely.
Yeah, you boys keep up the good work.
Yes. Fabian Hanbüchen was the correct name that just popped up. Yeah, I want to. Brody touched on ski slope disc golf earlier, and that reminded me of what I wanted to shout out because I went to Nova Scotia, which is in Canada. Wow. A month ago, a bit more than a month ago at this point. And we filmed a little mini documentary. The playthrough of the course is already on my channel on YouTube. And the little documentary about that trip and that course and that project is dropping hopefully by this weekend, if not early next week. And be on the lookout for that if you're craving some fun little disc golf content and stories. Turned out really nice. I'm proud of that trip. It was really fun and cool. And other than that, Disc Golf Expo in a month in Massachusetts.
So
Disc
excited.
East. Check out the website if you want to vend. There's always opportunities if you want to just come hang out and be part of the craziest disc golf trade show and expo in existence. I'll be there. A lot of other pros will be there, and anything disc golf you can imagine will be there. So that's always fun. And other than that, I guess just Merry Christmas, everyone, and enjoy the holidays. And see you next year.
Cale, before you go, real or fake tree behind you?
What do you think?
Fake.
That's fake. It's so perfectly uniform.
That's so fake.
Yeah, there's too much space in between. That's definitely fake.
All right, boys. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if we don't talk before then.
Merry
Peace.
Christmas,
Thanks,
boys.
guys.
We'll see
Take
you
it
guys.
easy. There you have it, guys. Simon Lizotte, Cale Leiviska, going to be running the first ever doubles tournament on the Disc Golf Pro Tour next year. Very, very excited. And sorry if we went a little bit off the rails there. That's just kind of how this podcast tends to go. I do want to quickly thank our sponsor, Manscaped, for this episode, who's sponsoring this episode. The holidays are here, which means it's time to give the gift of smoothness. Whether you're shopping for your partner, your brother, or yourself, we do not judge. Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate upgrade because nothing says happy holidays like a perfectly groomed package. From trimming to freshening up, this all-in-one grooming kit keeps you clean, confident, and ready for any festive occasion. So go ahead and unwrap confidence this season with Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com and join over 13 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Use code TOURLIFE for 15% off your entire order. I just recently found out that one of my Manscaped groomers is being used as the boys' paw trimmers. It's that good. Even dogs love it. Well, Moose Man doesn't love it, but the other boys do. Give the gift of smooth this holiday season with the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. Get 15% off your entire order with code TOURLIFE at manscaped.com. Today's episode, again, is sponsored by Manscaped. Get 15% off your entire order with code TOURLIFE at manscaped.com. Always thank the sponsors and friends of the show, Manscaped. All right. Yeah, a lot of discuss there. Leaves me, I think I'm more excited now for this tournament than I was before they came on. So that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing what they do. And maybe it does sound like, again, I don't know how much control. That was the only thing I was a little concerned with, was it doesn't seem like they have 100% control of the course design. It sounds like the Disc Golf Pro Tour is coming in there and kind of having some of the final say on some of the stuff. But what do we think the chances of smaller baskets are, boys, at this tournament? Like
None,
15?
zero.
Low.
Zero. No shot.
Good seg.
Sad day. Anything else that we wanted to talk about this week? I know it's a little bit slow with the news. Nothing really happening.
I had a couple side topics, but we've been going so long. I think they all work to move to like
Next week
later.
or
But
I
if
guess
you
would
want to,
be. We have to look at the calendar.
maybe 2 weeks. But if you want to end on a fun little 3-minute game.
Yes, I love games. Come on.
Okay, this is a real simple one. This is a budget game. I don't know if you guys ever seen a budget game before. Essentially, you have a budget of $15, and your job is to do something. And there are 4 different buckets that you have to put money into, and you have to determine at each bucket how much money you're putting into something.
Okay.
So you guys are trying to. We're gonna do this separately. So we're gonna see which of you does better.
Okay.
You're trying to build the ultimate disc golf tournament.
Okay.
So, and we're talking about, you have people who are, they're going to look at Brody's, look at Yuli's, they're going to go, which one am I going to attend? Not watch online, which am I going to attend? So that's your thing here. So you each have $15 to spend. So the first bucket is the venue. For $5, you can have the course of your choice. For $4, you can choose any course in Texas. For $3, you can get Milo. For $2, you get a Colorado course in December. or for $1, you get a 1.0 rated course on UDisc.
So Brody's going first.
So
I have to make that decision now.
Well, yeah, right now. Yeah. So you don't know what the buckets later are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go with the $1 here.
Oh, a 1.0 rated course on UDisc.
Yes.
Okay.
What are the options? And then it's
So it's $5 is a course of your choice. $4 is any course in Texas. $3 is Milo. $2 is a Colorado course in December, and $1 is a 1.0 rated course on UDisc.
I'll do the Texas option.
Okay, so there we go. So Yuli, you have $11 left. Brody, you have 14.
Mm-hmm.
Next is the field at this course. So for $5, you get a full MPO and FPO field. For $4, the top 15 are missing on each side.
Oh my gosh.
For $3, it's FPO only. For $2, you only get local MA1s. And for $1, you only get age-protected amateurs.
Okay, I'm taking the 5 here.
He's going full field.
Full field.
Okay. All right. So
I
Yuli
mean,
has
all those
$6
other
left.
options just destroy the tournament.
Yeah. Well, Yuli has $6 left. Brody, you have $9 left.
How many more buckets do we have?
2 more buckets.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Okay, next one is amenities. For $5, you get stadium seating, multiple food vendors, bathrooms, the works. For $4, you get a couple of bleachers, 2 food vendors, and some bathrooms. For $3, it's standing room. You got burgers and hot dogs and a bathroom. For $2, it's limited parking, no food, porta potties. And for $1, the parking lot's half a mile walk to the course, and the bathrooms are your favorite tree.
I'm taking the $4 here.
Okay.
Give me some bleachers.
Yuli's got a big choice. Spend his money here, spread it out.
No. What is it? It's what's the $3 one? I think that's what I gotta go for.
$3 standing room only, burgers, dogs, and a bathroom.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Brutal.
So Yuli's got $3 left to spend. Brody, I think I'm
taking the 5.
You're taking the 5. So you went 5, 5, and 1. So you have
5.
$4 to spend.
No, I have 5.
Because you went 5.
I took $1.
Oh, you went 4. Yeah, 1, 5, and 4. You went right.
Yeah, I'm taking the 5 on this one. I'm gonna
right.
wreck Yuli.
Last one is the wild card. For $5, it's a 3-hole playoff with a walk-off ace for the win. For $4, a player gets their first ever win. For $3, your organizer leaves the assets at the last tour stop. For $2, a controversial call assesses a penalty that costs someone the win. And for $1, the final round is canceled due to weather.
I'm taking $2 right there, baby.
You want the controversial call?
That's right.
Yeah, I'll take the playoff ace.
There you go. Okay, so chat, you heard it all. You could go to Brody's tournament at the 1.0 rated course that has everything you could ever want.
Let's find a 1.0 rated course first of all.
No, here's the thing. A lot of courses are rated low because like players go there and they play poorly, and there's like this course sucks.
Yeah, but those are like 2.5s and 3s.
Yeah, those
ones
are
okay.
You're
ones
not
are
gonna
scary.
find a 1.
Let me see what my 1.0. Can I search?
You're not gonna
1.0?
find them. It's gonna be hilarious.
How can I search a 1.0 in Dallas?
You might not have one.
Yeah, it's possible you may not have one.
I don't even know if I have a login anymore.
I'd rather have someone losing the win with a rule than a playoff. That's electric. Yeah, that is. Ones don't have T-pads or signage. That's a great point, Ron. Ones don't usually have either one of those. They also have ones also have a note in you just that say hole 7 no longer exists.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I have a full field playing that course. People are going to want to watch that.
I also have a full field.
Yep.
Yeah,
What Texas course would you choose, Yuli, if you could have your choice of any Texas course?
What is the one in Austin? The really nice one.
No, is it Harvey Penick or a different one?
Nah, the one downtown. It's like they don't-
Roy G.
Roy
Yeah.
G, probably. Yeah.
Oh, there's no way of actually. There's no way of actually, like you can only sort out the star rating going up. You can't just say like I want to see only 3.
Just Google it.
Yep.
I
Google
I
ones.
basically I think described what the Pro Tour is.
Yep.
4.3, 4. So far, there's nothing under 4.
There's lots of courses under 4.
No, I'm saying right now, I've only seen
In
like
Dallas.
only like 3 courses under 4 right now.
They might not.
3.6.
This is a place where you'll have tone poles.
Do I
Like-
not even have a 2? I might not. Oh, here we go. 2.9. Oh, that course sucks. I played that course. That's 2.9. Yikes.
Well, here we go. The Success High School disc golf course in Round Rock, Texas. How close is that to you?
Close enough, I guess.
Go
Oh, here we go. Prosper Center Park disc golf course, 1.4.
Okay, that's pretty good.
What is this? Oh, dude, people would love this. 9-holer?
You don't even get 18. Nice. That, babe.
And it's got 9-holer, 3,000 feet.
There you go.
It's got tee pads and disc catchers.
Oh man.
Is anything worse than that?
Yes.
Yeah, there
Yes,
are.
that's a
This course is
too high
not.
of a rating, buddy.
Okay, the caution says this course is unplayable. They have given up on this course. The actual baskets are nice, but the course is extremely overgrown and unplayable. But the parking lot is a dirt mound. Go anywhere else. But there's gonna be bleacher seatings,
Stadium seats.
stadium seatings.
And all the amenities.
Mm-hmm. All the amenities. It's
I don't
it's
I don't know if that's fair.
that walk off ace on the hundreds.
You bought it.
That walk off ace in the 175-foot hole is really going to be electric.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, dude.
Avoid this course. They have given up on it. Half a star. Dang, amenities got a 0.1 on this course.
Well, you brought them all there. So
You brought them
don't gotta
all.
worry
That's
about
right.
that.
Yeah, look, but here's the thing. Look at dashes. That's how you know it's a
You're
good
gonna
course.
have homeless people on that course too.
Look at this.
almost
Dashes track.
Someone's getting
3.
tetanus.
How is it 3.9? That's disrespectful. This needs to be at least a 4 or 5.
Listen, I could go off on a whole rant about how UDisc ratings aren't appropriate, but that's a topic for another day.
We need to get
I
these
won this
ratings up.
bucket battle.
We need to get these ratings up, guys. We need to get these ratings up. All right. We'll see. I don't know. I think my tournament would be pretty fun. Get inflatables out there. All right. Anything else, boys? Yuli, anything else?
No, I'm chilling, man.
Okay. Well, it was a good week. We'll talk offline to figure out when the next one is because I know the holidays are kind of coming up. But thank you to our guests, Simon and Cale, hopping on. Thank you to PJ Mike for everything behind the scenes. Thank you to both of you guys. I think we'll probably do a show before New Year's.
Should be
Well,
able to, yeah.
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 But we'll probably be off. I'm guessing we'll probably be off next week,
Are
right
we?
before
What-
Christmas.
Next
how
week is
many
the
days?
it's the 23rd next week, so 2 days before Christmas.
2 days before Christmas, or we should be off either next week or the week after. The week
Yeah.
after is New Year's Eve. Or no, the week after is New Year's Eve. So what's better, 2 days before Christmas or 2 days before New Year's? We'll
Probably
talk
New
about it.
Year's.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We'll
Hey,
figure
you,
it
Year's
out.
might,
probably.
you might see us pop up sometime in the
Yeah.
next 2 weeks.
Subscribe because you
We'll be
don't
around
know.
more
Yeah, you don't know when we'll pop up next.
We'll be here more than the other podcasts. We'll be here.
But
for
we
you.
appreciate you guys listening. Thank you so much, and until next time, take it easy, guys.